Well, it's the middle of October, and we're kind of at the end of our turf establishment season. It's too late for seeding right now. We're worried about frost and cold weather and dry, so we're doing some sodding to fix some turf repair areas or fix some parts of campus here. So we've brought in sod from Todd Valley Farms near Utan, and we're getting it established here. This is a fescue sod. So one thing you'll notice if you purchase sod, you generally have two choices, bluegrass and fescue. And the advantage to each is, one, with the bluegrass, because of its rhizomatous nature, it holds together much better when you're laying the sod, and maybe a little easier for those that put the sod in. With fescue, for us here, for our growing conditions, we find it works very well for us. Again, it's a little bit more difficult to lay, but we don't seem to have too many problems with it. We're able to get this area laid pretty quickly here, just within a matter of 45 minutes or so. So it goes pretty fast. One of the things that we'll do, again, when you're doing sod, especially along curbs or sidewalks, is you want to make sure that you've dropped the soil level down about the same level as the thickness of the sod. So depending on the sod that you purchase, and they should be able to tell you about how thick that they cut it, you'll be able to grade that area so you drop it down so you're at the right height when you lay the sod down. And then once we bring it in, we'll fertilize this, and then we'll make sure that we keep it water. We don't want to overdo it, but we want to keep it moist as we go through the fall. It's important, our falls can be pretty dry, so it's important that you continue to water as you go through the fall. If you have some warm days through the winter, it wouldn't hurt to go out and give it a little bit of a drink, especially if it's been a dry winter. One of the reasons that we've decided to sod right now is the time of year. So seed works well probably before the middle of September. After that, depending on the weather conditions, it gets a little sketchy as far as making sure that you get a good germination rate and that it's well established before we go into cold weather. So one of the advantages to sod is we can get this established pretty quickly. We're less concerned about winter kill going into the winter. So when the sod comes, it usually comes in a roll. It's going to be about 4 feet high, and in the middle will be this plastic tube. We use a forklift to move it around, and that way it keeps it together. And then when they cut it, they have this netting that kind of knits the whole thing together that holds it. As we roll up the slabs, it comes in a slab cut about 21 inches by 3 feet long. We roll it up, remove this plastic netting. You wouldn't have to remove it, but we do. And then we unroll it as we take it out to the area. So this makes it very handy. While it's connected to the roll, it's very stable. We might have a roll that we're going to keep overnight. We just wet it down and hold it till the morning and prep another site. So we usually get a good 24 hours out of a roll before we have to have it all out, especially this time of year when it's a little cooler. In the summertime, when it's warmer, you worry about mildew and that sort of issue, it drying out too quickly. So if it is warmer weather, you want to make sure that you have enough square footage prepped to be able to lay the sod all at one time and not hold it overnight. So after we have it all established, you can rent a large metal roller. You fill it full of water, and you can take that out, and that'll help with the seams, help level things up and even things up and knit those seams together. It's important when you're laying the sod that you kind of pull it together, make sure the seams are touching. I like to walk the seams after I'm done to make sure that we have a good connection. As you go through the winter, if it's dry, make sure you go out and give it a drink through the winter. In the spring, you should pretty quickly see this knit together. It really should be very solid, well established, by the first part of April. As things warm up in the spring, this turf will start growing. The roots are growing through the winter, especially in sunnier, warmer spots. So it will get itself established really as we go through the winter.